I've had to remove every single social tie. I had severe PTSD from this. I contemplated suicide. It got really bad. You feel like any little piece of information that gets out on you will be used by the worst people on the internet to destroy your life. And it's so isolating.
And terrifying.
It's horrifying. I'm so sorry.
It would be terrible and horrible, and what's happened to Taylor Lorenz is reprehensible. She's the Washington Post media reporter who, as you heard, says she has PTSD after online harassment because of some of her stories, which makes her current Washington Post investigation so surprising. To be clear, Lorenz is outing a private citizen who chose to remain anonymous and opening this private citizen up to the very same bullying and harassment Lorenz claims to have PTSD from. Lorenz's story certainly highlights an important part of internet culture these days. The Libs of TikTok account has 718,000 followers. We'll show you a little bit more about the Libs of TikTok in a second. And the Libs of TikTok repost the worst of liberal culture war issues. It is a partisan website. Two things can be true at once. Taylor Lorenz can be a hypocrite, and the woman who started Libs of TikTok is also a public figure. All this is important to you because Libs of TikTok set the agenda for much of the right wing and media on all things cultural, especially about LGBT issues in education. Julia Manchester covers politics for The Hill and joins us now. Are we right to put as much emphasis on this story as we are?
You know, that's the question I think we're all asking right now, Leland, especially when this person who started Libs of TikTok is a private citizen. You know, I think it might be a different discussion if this person was a public figure, a lawmaker, someone who was a donor to campaigns. However, this person was a private citizen, and that's where a lot of the criticism against Taylor Lorenz is coming from. That being said, though, those on the other side of the debate would argue, look, this person was at, the January 6th Capitol riot, for example. I've seen that argument around today. Also, they want to see where this influencer, and she is right now an influencer, I would say, the starter of this account.
It's more than an influencer, right? This is somebody who is stepped into the world of political discourse. It's not like she was suddenly sort of put there. She created an account to have and make a political statement, to have a political voice. You think about some of her posts that she put up. We shouldn't define the word woman because gender is a system of oppression. It's quoting liberals on TikTok and then reposting them. Once you enter into the ring, as we like to say, cable news is a full contact sport. Is there a reason that you should be able to have any anonymity?
Yeah, that's another good question. I mean, she is clearly an agenda setter right here. And I will add to that, she is setting the agenda for much of the right-wing media. And, as Lorenz argues in her piece today in the Washington Post, she is influencing right-wing lawmakers, politicians, and figures like Governor Ron DeSantis. Taylor Lorenz tried to, tie this person on TikTok, the starter of Libs of TikTok, to the legislation we've seen in Florida. I believe it's the Parental Rights and Education Act and a lot of the LGBTQ-centric legislation that Ron DeSantis and his administration has been pushing. Lorenz is also arguing that a lot of this content that the Libs of TikTok creator is putting out there is harmful to the LGBTQ community. She interviews a lot of members from the community. So that's what her side of the debate,
I guess
is coming from.
Once you enter in the debate, is Taylor Lorenz holding herself to a different standard that she's holding the creator of Libs of TikTok? Because the creator of Libs of TikTok, and we haven't shown it, but the hate speech and the threats and the vitriol against her right now from the left is overwhelming. It's certainly all the behavior that Taylor Lorenz was in tears about having done to her, she is allowing to be done with someone else. Do you kind of give up your right to go on MSNBC and cry if you're doing the same thing or allowing people to do the same thing through your work to other people?
Yeah, I think it comes back to what do we consider a public figure? So Taylor Lorenz, you, myself, we put ourselves in the public sphere. We are on television. We're on social media. We're in the public sphere. We know what we're signing up for. The owner or the creator of the Libs of TikTok account, that's a slightly different question because she is in the public sphere in that she's putting this account out there into the sphere. The question is, and I think this is where the debate is, if she chooses to be anonymous, can she choose to be anonymous even though she has this public TikTok account? I think we're entering into this new debate, really, as to how we define who's a public figure with social media. I mean, if you sign up for social media, are you a public figure? I mean, it's a good question.
Well, yeah, if you sign up for social media versus continually posting things over and over and over again to gain hundreds of thousands of followers. Kyle Becker, here's why the left hates libs of TikTok. She holds up a mirror to their ugly, damaging, radical worldview, so they try to silence her. They would rather hide their eyes and pretend these poor souls just went away. No, look at them, pity them, then stop harming more children. Is there a double standard, though, in the media for bringing hatred towards members of the media? Because when it's done to Taylor Lorenz, it's horrible, and MSNBC does a special on it. When it's outing somebody of libs of TikTok, then MSNBC goes, look at this horrible person who's posting things on libs of TikTok.
Yeah, look, I think you are going to see conservatives arguing that, and liberals would say it from the other side, that there's a double standard in conservative media. I really think it depends what perspective you're coming from at this point. And I will point out, Leland, both of these people are women, Taylor Lorenz and the owner of Libs of TikTok. So I would assume, and I think, from reading what I've read about the situation, both of these women have faced a double standard because of their gender, even though they're both on two different sides of the aisle. So, it's interesting to see that dynamic played as well.
Yeah, you make a very good point in terms of whether it's different for a woman versus for a man. And interestingly enough, this is one of the first times we've seen it where it's two women, right, versus a woman and a man, or that card doesn't play in the same way when it's a woman and a woman on either side of this. Hey, it was good to see you, Julia. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.